is the third most important thing for the living being. It helps them grow and develop. It maintains life, stimulates growth after air and water. Food plays a very important role in the body. It helps in the maintenance of health and also disease prevention. And therefore, the scarcity of food will affect the living being. Today, our focus will be on food crisis in Nigeria, causes, effects, and possible solution. Good morning and welcome. Your Saturday morning Tiny Kids here, Morning Safari. I am Amina Yusuf. And you know, as we do it on Morning Safari, apart from our discussion segment, we have other complementary segments, such as the newspaper segment, the fitness, health segment, the children are not left out, a background report that will lead us to the discussion segment, entertainment, and sports. My dear viewer, trust me, your Saturday morning promises to be quite educative and entertaining. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Morning Safari, your breakfast Saturday morning magazine show, is available for your patronage. From all shades of opinion to exciting and exclusive interview of personalities, corporate bodies and organizations, for your business and social engagement, event coverage, product launch and rebranding, annual general meetings, we are at your beck and call. You can as well advertise and promote your business, commercial activities, hotel and tourism, entrepreneurship development, and many more are all at our services. Contact us today. The numbers to call are Bola 080-565-30106, Tony 080-349-71969, or visit us at our office, NTA Ilorin, along Fatih Road, Ilorin. You can log on to our social streaming platform live on www.facebook.com/NTA Ilorin. Morning Safari, we serve you better.
Welcome back, and it's now time for our newspaper segment. And with me, I have the Saturday Tribune, the Saturday Punch, and the Guardian. Starting with the Saturday Tribune, above the masthead. Our government will cancel all recent appointments made by Oyetola, Osun PDP said. And the detail of the story can be gotten on page 7. Below the masthead, UNICEF cries out, flood endangers 2.5 million Nigerians. 1.5 million children at risk of drowning, malnutrition. Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta, and Anambra victims tell tales of woe. The story can be gotten on pages 8 and page 25. United Arab Emirates slaps visa ban on Nigerians. You can get this story on page 6. And a picture story there of Ogun State Governor and the President of Nigeria given during the Distinguished Award for Industrial Revolution. Another picture story of Rivers State Governor and President Muhammadu Buhari during the Distinguished Award of Infrastructure. Apostle Suleiman attacked in Edo, 3 policemen, 2 drivers, 1 other killed. The detail of the story can be gotten on page 3. And at the back of the Saturday Tribune, notes from Atlanta with Farouk Perogi. Obi is the new Buhari, an obedient new Buharist. Messi can lead Argentina to win Qatar 2022. If you have interest in any of this headline, get the Saturday Tribune. Now to Saturday Punch. Beside the masthead, how gunmen opened fire on my convoy, said Apostle Suleiman. 3 cops, 4 others killed in attack. The story can be gotten on page 13. I will take Nigeria to greatness, Tinubu vows. Buhari promises to lead campaign, says ex-Lagos governor capable. The story can be gotten on page 4. Flood. Skin diseases, diarrhea orders on the increase, says UNICEF. Snakes invade Benue Varsity. 3 Bayelsa institutions suspend resumption. The story can be gotten on page 9. Federal government budgets 13.8 billion naira for Obasanjo, Jonathan, IBB, Atiku, others. Retired HOS permanent secretaries to get 10.5 billion naira. Huge pensions for ex-leaders insensitive, wasteful, says CSO's economist. Federal government's debt hit 51.24 trillion naira over 8.4 trillion naira fresh loan. The story can be gotten on page 4. Adeleke will sack Oyetola's 12,000 newly employed workers, says PDP. The story can be gotten on page 5. Sanwo-Olu almost denied second term ticket. We begged Tinubu, says CAN chairman. The story can be gotten on page 2. Why I put houses for sale to raise 5 million naira ransom for my abducted children, says crab dealer. The story can be gotten on page 22. Nigeria denied 1,681 foreigners visas in 2021, says minister. The story can be gotten on page 5. And at the back of the Saturday Punch, Family Corner, what you should know about ovulation pain. You can get the detail of this on page 27. Falcons World Cup falls emerge today. Flamingos won't relent after US win. If you have interest in any of this headline, get the Saturday Punch. And now to the Guardian. Below the masthead. Start-up Act. Experts list gains, warn against pitfalls. To get the detail of the story, you get it at page 2. A picture story there of Rivers State Governor and President Muhammadu Buhari. Nepotism, cronism, fueling corruption in civil service, says Buhari. The story can be gotten on page 4. Tales of death, destruction as flood sweeps through communities. Getting MTN Nigeria back to a place where it's been loved is probably my biggest achievement. And Aderonke says many women in higher position are not willing to pull the next woman up. At the back of the Guardian, Nigerians Flamingos beat US, reach first ever semi-final. Slow pace of work at Asaba Stadium worries Okowa. If you have interest in any of these, headlines, get the Guardian. And many thanks to Olonyo Paper Stand for his consistency in supplying our papers. And now to our fitness segment. We have couple exercise for you.
A beautiful day to you all. Welcome to the fitness segment of Morning Safari. My name is Irebami Salako, and today we'll be doing something very, 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 very special, and that is couples exercises. So grab your partners right now, and if you don't have a partner, you could grab your friend, your parents, whoever is willing to do this exercise with you. So I am here with my husband for the day, and that's Daddy. So let's get started. So first, we'll be starting with warming up, which is very, very important. You want to have your blood pumping so you are not cramping anything. So the first exercise we'll be doing is the couple's wall sit. Normally, if you are doing this by yourself, you would need the assistance of a wall. But right now, your partner is your wall, you are your partner's wall. So let's see how you do this. I know that was very difficult. So the second one, let us do something a bit relaxing, and that is the couple's canoe. This forms a sort of intimacy with you and your partner because you are relying on each other to balance, just like the wall sit. But this one is less strenuous. the third one we are going to be doing is one that is a little bit challenging, but daddies, or should I say uncles, whoever is going to do the best, I'm sure you'll be very capable for this. So you just have to do the plank, and your partner will do the plank on top of you. That is going to put a lot of pressure on your knee, but I know you're strong enough to handle that. Wow, that was a bit challenging, but you know what? Doing these exercises with your partner, it forms intimacy. You get to love one another more. So we've arrived at the end of this week's edition of Fitness Segment. Don't forget to keep doing this. It is very beneficial. Your health is very important. So Morning Safari continues. Goodbye.
Wow, those exercises were something else. I hope you try these exercises at home with your spouse so that you get the achieved aim. But I won't try it at all. I won't go into it. I don't have the strength for those exercises. And now to health segment. We're going to educate you on excessive intake of vitamin C supplements. Vitamins and minerals are organic molecules that are essential micronutrients which an organism needs in small quantities for the proper functioning of its metabolism. Vitamins and minerals are considered essential nutrients because, acting in concert, they perform hundreds of roles in the body. They help shore up bones, heal wounds, and bolster your immune system. They also convert food into energy and repair cellular damage. Vitamins help your body grow and work the way it should. They are usually designated by selected letters of the alphabet, as in vitamin D, C, A, K, B, and lots more. The best approach to ensure you get a variety of vitamins and minerals and in the proper amount is to adopt a broad, healthy diet, high in fruits and vegetables. There are vitamins and mineral supplements we use to augment the natural ones gotten from healthy diets, and these supplements are usually over-abused by the users, narrowing it down to the vitamin C supplements that are usually abused by the users due to the sweet nature of these supplements. Dr. Nasiru Sani will be our guide on the negative effects of excessive intake of vitamin C supplements.
There are different vitamins that the body needs. We have the vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Vitamins, most times they promote growth in the body, and they also help to build immunity and encourage the body to be healthy. Vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin that is commonly seen in many fruits like orange, mango, and to a very good extent, getting vitamin C from this naturally occurring fruit is better than consuming it in supplement. But in institution that one needs to take vitamin C supplement, one needs to take it in moderation, because excessive intake of vitamin C can lead to a number of health implications. Bear in mind that vitamin C is an acid, ascorbic acid. Too much acid in the stomach can cause irritations, and it can lead to some refluxes, and some people, when they take large quantity of vitamin C, can have diarrhea. Likewise, vitamin C can combine with other chemicals in the body and causes stones, kidney stones. Likewise, vitamin C in patients who are prone to excess iron. Vitamin C can promote absorption of iron from the stomach. So this excess absorption of iron can lead to excess iron in the body, and excess iron in the body can be deposited in various organs of the body like the heart, the liver, the thyroid, the kidney, and at the end of the day it can damage all these organs. My advice to our viewers is that we are blessed in this part of the world where we are, we have naturally occurring fruit, and most times we see fruit at one point in time or the other. Let's go more with consumption of vitamin C in fruits, oranges, mangoes, and all these fruits. They have a lot of vitamin C. Consuming them and limiting supplement injection, because most times supplements do more harm to the body than good.
Vitamins and minerals are generally safe for most people, especially if you get it from healthy diet foods. Ensure to take your vitamins and mineral supplements in accordance to doctor's prescription. Your health is in your hands. You've heard it from the health expert, the health implication of excessive intake of vitamin C supplement. So you take them according to the doctor's prescription. It's now time for our children. Yes, our children are not left out on this program. And next we have Pulse of Fury, the cartoon continuation for our kids at home.
Cats were living, where the heroes ran in short supply, to a land so harsh and unforgiving, rode a hero, the blazing samurai. When one town was found to be in danger from the evildoers dropping by.
Showed you my movie, the whole flashback thing. I don't believe it. I'm out of here. And I never want to see you again.
You, how much did you hear?
Samurai Hank needs your help. Are you not bound by your samurai oath to help him?
You mean the one that says I can't turn my back on those in need?
Yeah, that one.
No. Well, maybe. That's not what... Oh, stupid oath. The cuteness is strong with this one.
What's this?
It is a contract between a student, you, and a teacher, me.
Why do we need a contract?
Because at this moment it would be so nice if I weren't here. And if you break this contract, I won't be. Besides, it's very straightforward. You swear to be brave, honorable, protect those in need, not see glory, finish what you start, and always obey your master.
The samurai oath?
Yes. And if you break it, our contract is broken, and you go home.
Okay, should I have my attorney look at it?
We don't have that kind of time. Now, sign here. Defend yourself.
But what am I supposed to do with the stick?
Lesson 1. It is not so important what you do as it is important that you do something. A warrior has cat-like reflexes.
I'm not a cat, I'm a dog.
Nobody's perfect.
Wait, that music. Hey, this is the training montage, isn't it? Hey, can't we just skip ahead to the part where I'm good?
No, this is my favorite part. Part where you suffer. Cross the river any way you can. To a cat, nothing is unclimbable.
Did I mention I wasn't a cat?
Just make it to the other side of the wall. Then you will be ready.
Want to give me a hand? Very funny.
Don't forget to land on your feet. Nope. 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 Huh?
welcome back from that cartoon, and I hope our kids at home enjoy this cartoon. Don't worry, the continuation will come next week. And now time for our discussion segment. But before you meet my guests, let's take a background report on the topic.
Prior to this time, agriculture has remained an important aspect of any economy. Viable agricultural programs and activities in any polity are capable of sustaining the food supply and reserve needed for the welfare of the citizens. Now, agriculture is despised as able young people do not have interest in agriculture. However, climate change in the name of natural occurrence like flood, clashes between herdsmen and farmers, and the activities of Boko Haram set have added to food insecurity challenges in our society, as population displacement, non-cultivation of farmlands, and the burning down of farm produce have reduced the production quantity and quality of food supply. According to the marketers visited in various markets within Ilorin Metropolis, most hinted that the food items have continued to increase in prices on daily basis.
All this rice, like spaghetti now, we're buying spaghetti for 3,000 naira upward before, but now we are buying spaghetti the rate like ×2 of what we were buying before. Spaghetti is now 8,000 naira 500, and golden penny spaghetti we are buying for 8,000 naira 5. There are lesser ones, but if you want to get a good quality, then you have to just go for the higher price. Then semot we are buying it for like ×2 of the actual amount we used to buy it before, way back 2-3 years back. Now we are buying ×2 of it.
What causes all this is one is issue of bandits. You understand the insecurity in the country. People are fearing going to the farm, and the issue of the flooding everywhere around the farm is causing the high rates, and the demand of the locally made rice presently is very, very high compared to the supply to the markets.
Now, we normally buy 22, 18, 22, 21. Now we are now buying Nigeria, not even foreign rice. We are buying it 38, 39. So we don't know where we are going, and there's no way we cannot eat. So we don't know how government can help us with all those this food crisis.
In view of this, study has shown that there is high level of food insecurity due to a combination of long-running armed conflict and violence, disrupted livelihood, and more recently is flooding that have reduced access to localized food production, which invariably causes scarcity of produce. For possible solution, is there anything to be done to avert the food crisis?
We have the storage facility. I think if governments in their own side can make a provision for center where all these grains, all these harvest can be kept after harvesting from farm, I think it will serve a very long way. Then the issue of flooding, you know, the flooding ought to be the water has to be channeled adequately to their parts. If we don't do this, they will find their way, and before we know it, it will result to flooding. So flooding is the major factor that government has to come in immensely to get all this farmland rescue from flooded away.
Although the world faces a global hunger crisis of unprecedented proportions that look like it will continue into 2023, but the good news is to intensify our actions as improving situations and promote productivity for sustainability and growth of the economy.
That's the background report to the topic, and now to the discussion. I have with me here Dr. Olabalogun. He is the Chairman, Board of Trustees, Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kwara State Branch. Good morning and welcome to Morning Safari.
Good morning.
Glad to have you here today.
I'm very happy to be here.
All right, thank you. Let's start. Food and crisis joining together. Anyway, anytime we have crisis, we know it's something unpleasant. So can you describe the concept of food crisis to us?
Well, thank you very much. food crisis, as the name says, is when there is a problem that is being caused as a result of either scarcity of food, or the cost of food is much higher than what people can afford. Or we have damage that is caused by either natural means or other means. When we have such a thing, we can say that we have crisis in our hands. And this type of crisis is not peculiar to any part of the world. It's something that should be expected. It's a global thing that happens in many, many other places too. Yes.
Food crisis is not just in Nigeria, it's a global phenomenon.
It is.
All right. Every crisis has a cause. Can you tell us what causes food crisis?
Well, as I described earlier, when we have crisis, there must be a cause for that crisis. For example, if you have scarcity of food, what it means is that you have not produced enough in order for you to feed your teeming population. And another way that food crisis can happen is if you have damage of the food as a result of either natural phenomena or something that just happens because of some faults here and there. I would cite an example. As we have right now, there's flooding in many states. And that flooding has caused a lot of damage to some crops that have been planted. Some of these crops are almost about to be harvested, some are waiting to be harvested, and once you have flooding that takes over the entire space, if adequate measures not put in place, all those foods is going to be destroyed, and once that happens, it means that there's crisis that is waiting to happen. Yes.
Okay, all these causes of food crisis, how will it affect the populace?
Well, it will, if, as I've said earlier, because food security is very important. And these are some of the things that, bearing in mind that we can have crisis in our hands, it is always very appropriate for one to plan ahead and to always believe that something may happen that is going to affect the availability or the quantity of food that we have. And what happens is, if there is shortage of food in the system, the first thing is that we will see is very big increment in the prices of these food items. And we ascribe that to inflation. Inflation is something that happens, as we know, and sometimes it can be cyclical, meaning that inflation will happen this year. Maybe we won't expect any major increment maybe in a couple of years. But if you have crisis of food, meaning that we don't have sufficient amount of these food items in the market, obviously there's going to be inflation, because we have very many people demanding for the same items, and obviously the price is going to increase that way. It's just law of economics that always come into play.
And when the price increases, it's going to affect the populace.
Oh, seriously?
Because affording them becomes a problem.
That is the big problem. In fact, right now, everybody is complaining. I myself, I do complain that if you go to the market yesterday, what you see in the market yesterday is not what you get today. So everybody is feeling the pinch, honestly. And maybe we'll talk about this, but that is why I said earlier that we should always be expecting that something like this will happen. So if you expect, it means that you have to plan ahead. If you don't plan ahead, if that crisis comes, everybody will be confused and everybody will be complaining, and it's already late. There's nothing you can do. You just have to take what you have. Yes.
Okay, let's now go to rice. Rice is now one of the common foods that every home takes now. So your association, the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, what adequate plans have you put in place to ensure we have adequate production of rice?
Yes, thank you very much. As I have said, rice is a staple food now. When very many years ago it wasn't, but now almost everybody has adopted rice as the main source of food intake. Well, I can tell you that my association, which is Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, is actually doing quite a lot of things in order for us to increase rice production. There are challenges, as you know, because if you want to plant rice or any crop for that matter, you must have access to land. If you don't have access to land, it may be a little bit difficult for you to actually plant the crop that you want to plant. The other thing that is necessary and needed is water, of course. If you don't have water, rice is a water-loving crop. So you need a lot of water in order for you to be able to plant the crop. Rice, depending on the variety that you plant, usually takes between 3 months to about 6 months in order for you to grow it and harvest it. What I know that has been happening in the last few years, well, I would say about 4 or 5 years now, there has been a tremendous interest in farmers that are participating in growing crop and growing rice. And I can cite an example of these are states, Kwara State. We have 16 local governments in Kwara State. And there is no part of Kwara that doesn't have the potential of planting rice. And as it is now, I do know that with our association, all the local governments are fully involved in planting rice. As you also know, we have 2 distinct seasons in a year. We have the rainy season, which we are presently in, which takes place from April to sometime in October. And then we have the dry season that starts in November till the next April. Now, it is possible for us to grow rice in both seasons. The most convenient one, I would say convenient in the sense that you don't need to bother too much about water, because rainfall is going to give you that water. But even with that, I also spoke about the availability of land. If you have land, we should also make sure that that land is suitable for planting the rice, especially if the variety of rice is the one you are supposed to plant inside of a waterlogged area. Then in the second season, which is the dry season, we can also plant rice. All we need is just to make sure that once you have the land, you should also have the water. And one of the ways in which you can get the water is if you are very close to a source of water, for example, you know, a reservoir, a dam that has already stored up water, that you can utilize the water that is stored inside of the dam, very close to that area. There is also possibility of having a stream or a rivulet that flows very close to your farm that brings water during the rainy season. You can utilize that water also. And just to make sure that, because as I said, rice is a water-loving crop. If it doesn't have water, it's not going to grow very well.
Since rice loves water, does flooding affect rice production?
Yeah, very good question. Yes, it does. Even though we say that rice loves water, but the rice should not be submerged underwater for a certain period of time. Once it's submerged, it is suffocated of oxygen.
Excess water.
So the excess water will suffocate the rice if that rice is below water level for a long period of time. For example, now as it is happening in many states where they have grown rice and the land has been overtaken by flood. Most of the crops are going to be damaged because this thing has been happening for more than 2 weeks now. You can't have crop submerged underwater for too long. Once it happens, that crop or plant is going to be suffocated and then it will die off. So that is what is happening. And as it is now, well, I'm sure we will take all the records and see maybe in the next 1 week or so we will now be able to know the extent of damage that has happened due to this flooding. But I can tell you that you know, it's going to be very serious. And once that happens, that is one of the crises that we're talking about. It means that since most of those crops that are supposed to be harvested and brought to the market are no longer going to be there, obviously there's going to be some scarcity as time goes on.
All right. Okay, let's now go to price.
Yes.
Going to price, you talked about your association trying to produce adequate production of rice. But we found out that most of the market, the local rice is very expensive, from 38,000, 39,000. Do you think this is affordable for average Nigerian?
Certainly not. I told you the other time that everybody that goes to the market knows that things have skyrocketed in terms of prices.
Okay.
Therefore, there's nobody that's going to be happy seeing prices of items to be this high.
Okay.
But as I've told you earlier, you know, everything has to do with adequate preparation.
Okay.
If you had prepared ahead of time, obviously this type of a thing is going to be a lot easier to ride through, because you know we've been talking about food security.
Yes.
What food security means is that you have adequate backup in order for you to be able to handle situations like this. So because we don't have this, and I'm sure the government is trying its best to see that this thing can be improved upon, but we need to do more. In our association, we are encouraging as many farmers as possible to come and be part of us. But if you want to be part of this, you must be ready to actually do the farming, because there are so many people that believe that, you know, they can do farming by remote control. It's not going to be possible. Absentee farmers, you will end up not getting what you are intending to get. But this is, and to me, I think this particular crop is a crop that, if anybody is interested as a farmer, they should really join in, because it provides you with that confidence that you are assisting in at least providing food for people in the community, in the state, and in the country. And if you once you're a member, what we try to do is to guide people so that they'll be able to do it the right ways, and so that as a farmer, which one of the primary objectives is for you to also make money, you will now have that opportunity of making money if you follow the procedure very well.
Thank you for that. I've been speaking with Dr. Ola Balogun. He is the Chairman Board of Trustees, Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kwara State Chapter. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Talk my mind, for anyone will feel relate, read the macula. Sometimes it feels like success is a trap, and sometimes it feels like people don't understand, cause the pressure plenty and the expectations high. Even your day ones were supposed to get your back, sometimes they won't stay fight. Everybody has an opinion, how you supposed to live your life. And even people were supposed to show you the way, now the people they backbite. Not be proud of the ego. Sometimes I got in my mind, sometimes I got stay behind, sometimes I will have to say no. Sometimes I got some water out of my head, hey, this person don't go drive me insane, no. So if you see me outside and I no greet you, no vex, papa, my head is full, oh. And Baba, you know the level. Now this house is like Now this house is like
Welcome back from that musical break, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's just to douse the tension of this food crisis we are discussing. And let's go to the marketers.
Okay.
What roles do marketers have in this food crisis? What roles do they play?
Well, the marketers are actually the end point of transfer of these products to members of the public that are interested in buying these products. So obviously they have a very big role to play.
Yes.
I do know that a lot of all these marketers, as people selling these products, everybody wants to maximize profit.
Yes.
What we need to do is to encourage them also to be very considerate in terms of putting prices on all these items. I know that the public is always expecting that they'll have the best, but what is happening is that people sell products based on the prices they also bought these products. The discretion sometimes is with those marketers in setting the prices by themselves. So what I'm saying is that we should try to encourage them so that the margin that they will put is going to be reasonable, so that everybody will not be too unhappy about the prices. The other thing that I believe needs to be worked on is to make sure that there's enough, because if there's enough, you know, the law of supply and demand, if the demand is much higher than the supply, obviously the price modulation is going to come in. So, and that is one of the things that our association is trying to do, so that we can produce as much as possible. And once we produce as much as possible and the market can get these products, the prices obviously is going to be modulated downwards. Yes.
Let's go to balanced diet. Due to this high inflation on prices of food, how can we get balanced diet in time when we have food crisis?
Yes, well, a very good question again. To get balanced diet, of course, you know, you have to make sure you consume items from different categories: carbohydrate, protein, and minerals, and so on and so forth. What I would suggest is that I know that prices of some items are actually out of reach for many people. But what you have to do in order for you to at least be able to balance is to see that you can take at least maybe 1 or 2 items out of many of these foods that are necessary. And then you have to balance it with what you believe you can afford. Because being able to afford something is one of the biggest factors. I can see that a lot of people may be missing some, you know,
vital.
Yes, vital parts of. So what you have to do is just to do your best to live within your means. Because I'm not going to suggest that people should be buying things that they cannot afford. If you can't afford it for now, just do whatever you can and be hopeful that things are going to improve.
Just eat to get filled up.
Yes.
Forget having a balanced diet for now. All right, let's go to the solutions. How do we cope this food crisis?
Well, I've spoken to some of these ways of doing it, but I will try to reiterate or to re-emphasize some of the things that I've said. Number one, we need to be aware that this crisis is something that will happen, whether we like it or not. But it is the way you prepare for this type of crisis that will allow you to ride through it, and many people are not going to be affected. This country, Nigeria, we are so blessed. But the way we are managing our resources is where we have to do a lot of improvement upon. There's adequate land. The condition also is very favorable to planting a lot of crops. We don't have drought in this part of the world, which is a very good thing. And I told you that the 2 basic things that you need in order to grow crops: land and water. Once you have those 2, the other inputs, you can always put it to enhance the growth. But if you take a lot of time to plan ahead and make sure that we encourage and provide the necessary means for people that are interested in farming, we give them the support, we give them the input, we give them everything that they need in order for them to be able to plant crops, I'm sure things will start to improve and change for the better. The other thing that I know that the government has always been doing things on is in terms of making sure that there's adequate storage provided for some of these food items. Because if you produce and your level of production is much higher than what you can use, obviously the excess must be stored so that you can now be able to release those stored items into the market. But if you don't have adequate storage facility, it's going to be very difficult. You see that a lot of items that we produce in this country are being wasted. For example, I can tell you about fruits, like mango. During the mango season, you see a lot of mangoes being, you know, on trees, and the harvested is orange. I mean, the mangoes. If you don't have proper storage facility, for those items will waste. And so two things are happening. You are wasting food. You are also losing money. So there are so many ways in which we can try to complement what we are doing and be able to at least go through this.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming. I've been speaking with Dr. Ola Balogun. He is the Chairman, Board of Trustees, Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria, the Kwara State branch, and we've heard it from him. Planning is essential in order to curb food crisis. Thank you for coming, sir. Hope next time I'll call upon you, obligers.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next on our lineup is Entertainment Gist with Mansurat Abisoy.
How many butter you go wear? How many bags you go buy? Anything you want, make you tell me. I'm Oladipo, I can be your man. What kind of food do you eat? Shey yolo fair tegusi. Anything you want, make you tell me. I'm Oladipo, I can be your man. So do you like what you see? I'm the type of mugu that can pay your bills. Anything you want, just let me know. I'm Oladipo, I can be your man. That is why I say la, 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 la. My love will never die. If you want me, I go try. Baby, I'll make it work. That is why I say la, 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 la. My love will never die. If you want me, I go try. Baby, I'll make it work. Yeah, I'll make it work. So when I say, do you feel my peace? She say, Oladipo, I dey feel your peace. Feel your anything you want, you can tell me. I'm Oladipo, I can be your man. Baby, I can be your man. Tó bá jọ̀wọ́ ló fẹ́.
It's another Saturday for another interesting entertainment segment on Morning Safari, your favorite breakfast show. I am Mansurat Abisoye, and as usual today, I'm here with superb cheese, which I'm very sure is going to light up your weekend. I know you can't wait to hear, but before that, let's go on a short break. I'll be back. to know you're still there. If you're just joining us, this is entertainment segment on Morning Safari. And now to my gist. Ace singer Kiss Daniel seems to have mastered the art of making viral music, says fans. The viral new tune by the Nigerian singer Oluwatobiloba Anedugbe, better known as Kiss Daniel, is the new biggest thing in town at the moment, as different celebrities have started to jump on the Curve or Door challenge. The latest celebrities to join the Curve Dance challenge are the popular skit maker Oga Sabinos and Brother Shaggy. Both funny men showed off their dancing skills as they shook and grooved to Kiss Daniel's hit song. Vado surely understands this thing called music. He's always releasing hits gbedu, and this latest one is not an exception. Moving on to my next gist. Actress with the cute dimple, Bidemi Kosoko, shares stunning pics as she marks a new age. Popular Yoruba actress Bidemi Kosoko, who is one of the celebrity daughters of Nollywood veteran Jide Kosoko, marks her birthday as she clocks 39. Bidemi, who is famous for her cute dimple, took to her Instagram page to share some lovely birthday pictures as she penned a sincere message of thanksgiving to God for letting her see a new year. Wow, it's a good thing to mark your year and to celebrate your year on earth. Big 39 is not a small thing at all. And to the beautiful actress, I say happy birthday to you, the dimple queen. And to the last gist. Mixed reactions trail video of Asake, Young John and Tiwa Savage in recording studio. The year 2022 has been an eventful one for the rave of the moment, Asake, and it appears he has no intention of slowing down. Currently trending online is a video of the singer in what appears to be a music studio with Young John and Tiwa Savage. Asake's voice can be heard in the background in what appears to be a snippet of the yet-to-be-released song. Asake ma power now. Like seriously, this guy surely knows his way around the music industry. He's always giving us back to back. So Asake's fans, you all should be anticipating a new gbedu from Asake before this year runs out. And this is where we'll be drawing the curtain for today on entertainment segment. I believe you enjoyed yourself as much as I did. And to the sport lovers, the next segment is for you. So next time I comes your way, I say bye.
Welcome to your favorite breakfast show, Morning Safari. I am Olabode Samson. Romelu Lukaku returns to training after thigh injury. Lukaku returns to team training with Inter Milan on Thursday as Belgium striker recovers from a thigh injury that kept him out of action since August. Lukaku hasn't played for Inter Milan since picking up the injury to his left thigh during the training in the days after his team defeat Alizo. Tyson Fury to defend heavyweight title against Derek Chisora. Tyson Fury will defend his heavyweight title in all British three-way fight against Derek in London on December 3rd after the collapse of talk for a prospective showdown with Anthony Joshua. The bout against Chisora, who Fury beat in 2011 and 2014, will be the Gypsy King first outing since the 6th round stoppage of another domestic rival, Dylan White, in April. French squad BBE Hotels, which is the first to sign Matt Cavendish, is one of the several pro teams missing from the listing of application for license for 2023 season. John Hopper, Andrew Nigatoli, and the United States Registered Human Power Health are also absent from the UIC list, but all have more time to complete their document of sponsorship and riders contracts, bank guarantees and information, and also secure a license for 2023. 51 teams have applied for license for 2023 UIC, announced that 13 women's teams have applied for the new World Tour status, with 3 continental teams looking forward to step up in 2023. And that will be all for sports segment. Morning Safari continue.
And on that sporting note, we come to the end of today's edition of Morning Safari. And my dear viewer, food crisis is actually a scary phenomenon. But the guest has said planning is a vital process in achieving abundant food. And I hope we achieve this. for me, Amina Yusuf, is enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.